I had just moved into that town. It was small, quiet, the kind of American place where everything feels normal during the day, but at night, it becomes too silent. The streets were empty, lined with tall trees that barely moved even when the wind passed through. I rented a small house across a narrow road, and right in front of it, there was an old house. From the first moment I saw it, something felt off. It was a two-story wooden house, the paint almost gone, windows cracked, weeds growing all around it. It looked abandoned for years. But every time I looked at it, I felt like someone inside was looking back at me. That night was my first night there. I was tired after unpacking, so I went to bed around 1 a.m. Just before turning off the lights, I glanced outside. That's when I saw it. A light inside the old house. I paused. The house had looked completely empty all day. No signs of life, no movement. Still, I told myself maybe someone had just moved in. I turned off my light and lay down. But sleep didn't come easily. Something didn't feel right. At some point, I must have fallen asleep. Then suddenly, I woke up. A sound. Tick. Like a switch being pressed. I opened my eyes. My room was dark. Then again. Tick tick. I slowly turned my head toward the window and froze. Every single light in the old house was on. Not just one room. All of them. Upstairs, downstairs, every window glowing at the same time. I sat there staring, waiting to see someone. But there was nothing. No movement. No shadows. Just light. It didn't make sense. The house looked alive but empty. I kept watching for a few minutes. Then I made a decision. I was going to check it. I put on my jacket and stepped outside. The air felt colder than before. The street was completely silent. As I walked across the road, my footsteps sounded louder than they should. When I reached the house, I stopped. The front door was slightly open. I was sure it had been closed earlier. I hesitated for a moment, then pushed it. The door slowly creaked open. I stepped inside. Immediately, I felt it. The air was heavy. There was a smell of old wood, dust, and something rotten. The lights were still on, but there was no sound. Nothing. Not even the sound of the wind. I walked forward slowly. The floor creaked under my feet. On the wall, I noticed old photographs. A family. A man, a woman, and a little girl. I stepped closer. Something was wrong. The girl's face was completely scratched out. I felt a chill run down my spine. Then I heard it. From upstairs. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Step. I looked toward the staircase. Dark, but the sound was clear. Someone was walking. I stood there, unable to move. Then I slowly took a step forward. And suddenly, all the lights went out. Everything went black. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't even see my own hands. My heart was pounding. I tried to breathe quietly. Then I felt it. Right behind me. A cold breath on my neck. And a whisper. "Why did you come here?" I couldn't move. My entire body froze as that cold breath lingered on the back of my neck. "Why did you come here?" The voice wasn't loud. It was close, too close. Right behind me. I tried to turn around, but my body wouldn't listen. My throat felt dry. I didn't know anyone was here, I whispered. For a few seconds, there was nothing. No sound. No movement. Then, a soft, almost broken laugh. Not normal. It sounded like something trying to remember how to laugh. "You shouldn't be here," The voice felt lower now, slower. I forced myself to move. Slowly, I turned around. Darkness. Complete darkness. But I could feel it. Something was standing there. Close. Watching me. I stepped back. My foot hit something and I almost fell. I didn't care anymore. I turned and ran. My hands hit the wall as I tried to find the door. My breathing got louder. Faster. Then suddenly, the lights came back on. All at once, I stopped. I was standing in the hallway again. Alone. No one behind me. Nothing. The door was right in front of me. Wide open. I didn't wait. I ran outside and didn't look back. I didn't stop until I was inside my house, door locked. I leaned against it, trying to breathe. My hands were shaking. That wasn't real, I said to myself. It couldn't be. But deep down, I knew it was. I went to the window, slowly, carefully, and looked outside. The old house was dark again, like nothing had ever happened. The next morning, I tried to act normal. Sunlight made everything feel less real, less dangerous. I made coffee, sat down, and kept staring at that house. It looked the same as before. Dead, empty, like no one had ever stepped inside. For a moment, I almost convinced myself it was all a dream. Until I noticed something. The front door. It was closed. I froze. I clearly remembered it being open when I ran out. I didn't close it. I didn't even touch it. So who did? Later that day, I decided to ask someone. There was an old man who lived a few houses down. I had seen him the day before, sitting outside watching the street. I walked up to him. "Hey, can I ask you something?" I said. He looked at me, slowly, like he already knew what I was going to say. "You moved into that house, didn't you?" he asked. I hesitated, then nodded. I pointed toward the old house. "What's the story with that place?" For a few seconds, he didn't answer. He just stared at it. Then he sighed. "No one's lived there for years." "I figured that," I said, "but last night." He cut me off. "Did you see the lights?" My heart dropped. "Yes." He looked away. "That means it noticed you." A cold feeling spread through my chest. "Noticed me." He nodded slowly. "That house, it doesn't stay empty." I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" He leaned closer, lowered his voice. "People have gone in there before." And I asked. "They don't stay the same when they come out." I felt my stomach tighten. What happened in that house? The old man was quiet again. Then he spoke. There was a family. A long time ago. A man, his wife, and their daughter. My mind immediately went to the photo on the wall. "The girl?" I asked. He nodded. Something was wrong with her. "How?" He didn't answer right away. Then finally, "She used to talk to things. Things that weren't there." I felt a chill. She said the house talked back. My breathing slowed. "What happened to them?" The old man looked at me again. This time, his eyes felt different. Darker. One night, all the lights in the house turned on. My heart started pounding again, just like you saw. And the next morning, he paused. They were gone. Gone, I repeated. He nodded. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Just empty rooms. And one thing left behind. I swallowed. "What?" He looked straight at me. "The girl's voice." My skin crawled. They say if the lights turn on, it means she's still there, looking for someone. I couldn't speak. My mind went back to the whisper. Why did you come here? I stepped back slowly. People still hear her at night, the old man continued. In that house. In their dreams. Sometimes even inside their own homes. I felt my heart skip. What do you mean? He didn't answer. He just stared at me. Then very quietly he said, if she spoke to you, you're already part of it. That night I didn't plan to look outside. I told myself I wouldn't. I locked all the doors, closed all the curtains, turned on every light in my house. I sat on the couch, trying to distract myself. Hours passed. Nothing happened. Maybe the old man was wrong. Maybe it was over. Then, tick. I froze. The sound came from inside my house. Not outside. Inside. Tick. Like a switch. Slowly, I turned my head toward the hallway. The lights started turning off, one by one. Tick, tick, tick. My breathing stopped. I wasn't alone anymore. And this time, it wasn't coming from the old house. I stood there, unable to move. The sound kept coming from the hallway. Tick, tick, tick. One by one, the lights were turning off. The living room was still lit, but the hallway was completely dark now. I swallowed hard. Hello, I called out. No answer. Only silence. Then, step. A slow footstep. From inside the darkness. My heart started pounding, so loud it felt like it would give me away. Step, step. Something was walking toward me. Inside my house. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find, a heavy lamp from the table. My hands were shaking. Who's there? I said louder this time. The footsteps stopped, right at the edge of the darkness. I stared into the hallway, trying to see something, anything, but it was too dark. Then something moved, just for a second. A shape, tall but slightly bent, like it wasn't standing properly. I stepped back. The light above me flickered. Once, twice, then steadied. And in that brief moment of flicker, I saw it. Not clearly, but enough. A figure standing in the hallway, its head slightly tilted, watching me. I couldn't breathe. Then the light went out. The living room dropped into darkness. I was surrounded. I swung the lamp blindly. Stay back, I shouted. Silence. Then, right next to my ear, you came back. I screamed and stumbled forward, dropping the lamp. It shattered on the floor. I ran, straight to the front door. My hands fumbled with the lock. For a second, it wouldn't open. Then finally, it clicked. I pulled the door open and ran outside. Cold air hit my face. I didn't stop. I ran into the street. Then I stopped, because something was wrong. Very wrong. The old house. Its lights were on again. All of them. Every window glowing. I slowly turned back toward my house, and my blood ran cold. The lights inside my house were on too. All of them. At the same time. Just like the old house. I took a step back. No, no, no. This wasn't possible. I had just run out. The lights were off. I saw them turn off. But now, both houses stood there, side by side, fully lit, like mirrors of each other. Then, I saw movement. In the old house, a shadow passed one of the upstairs windows. Slow, dragging. I looked closer, and then I saw another one. In my house, the same window, same movement, perfectly matching, like whatever was in that house was now in mine. My chest tightened. I couldn't look away. The shadows kept moving, room to room, upstairs, downstairs, both houses, at the same time. Then they stopped, at the windows, facing me. I couldn't see faces, just shapes, standing there, watching. Then, all the lights went out. At once, everything dropped into darkness again. I stood there in the middle of the street, breathing hard, trying to understand what I just saw. Then I heard it, behind me, from inside my house. A faint sound, a child's voice, soft, broken, calling out, "Don't leave me." My body went cold. Slowly I turned around. The front door of my house was open. I was sure I closed it. I didn't remember leaving it open. The darkness inside looked deeper than before. Heavier, like it wasn't just absence of light. It felt alive. The voice came again, closer this time. "Please." I took a step forward without thinking. My mind was screaming at me to run, but my body wasn't listening. Another step. The air grew colder. Then I saw it. Inside the doorway, a small figure, standing in the dark. A child, her head slightly tilted, hair covering her face. She didn't move, didn't step forward, just stood there, waiting. My throat went dry. "Are you the girl?" I whispered. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, very slowly, she lifted her head, and the light from the street fell across her face. My heart stopped. Her face was scratched out, not injured, not bleeding, just gone, like the photo, like something had erased it. I stumbled back. No. She took one small step forward, then another. Her movements weren't normal. Too stiff, too slow. Then she stopped again and spoke, this time clearer. Not a whisper. "You saw me." I couldn't answer. "You came inside." My legs felt weak. "You let me in." My mind went blank. I shook my head. I didn't, but the words got stuck. Because deep down, I knew. The moment I entered that old house, something followed me back. Something that didn't belong there anymore. Something that needed a new place. A new house. My house. The girl tilted her head again, then slowly raised her hand and pointed behind me. I froze. I didn't want to look, but I had to. I turned around, and my blood turned to ice. The old house was dark, completely. No lights, no movement, nothing. And for the first time since I arrived, it looked truly empty, because whatever had been there was no longer inside it. It was standing behind me. Right at my door, I couldn't breathe. The air around me felt heavy, like something was pressing down on my chest. Slowly, I turned back toward the doorway. She was still there, closer now. I hadn't seen her move, but the distance between us was smaller. Too small. I stepped back. My heel scraped against the road. "Stay away," I whispered. She didn't stop. Another step forward. Her movements were slow, stiff, unnatural, like something was controlling her. Then she stopped again, right at the edge of the light. The street light flickered above us. For a split second, her face became clearer. Or what should have been her face. There was nothing there. Just a blank, distorted surface. Like reality itself refused to show it. I felt dizzy. "You let me in," she said again. Her voice wasn't broken anymore. It was steady, cold. I shook my head. "I didn't mean to." She tilted her head. "You came into my house." My heart pounded harder. "You heard me." I took another step back. "You saw me." Her voice grew slightly louder each time. "You opened the door." My back hit something. I turned quickly. My house. The front door still open. Dark inside. Waiting. I turned back to her. "What do you want?" I asked. Silence. For a moment, she didn't answer. Then, "To stay." My stomach dropped. "No." I shook my head. "No, you can't. You left me there." Her voice cut through mine. In the dark, the temperature dropped even more. I could see my breath now. "You weren't supposed to leave." I felt something change in the air. Like the rules had shifted. "You came in." She took another step. "You don't get to go." My pulse exploded in my ears. "I'm not staying," I said, backing toward my door. "I'm leaving." For the first time, she reacted. Her head snapped slightly to the side. Too fast. Too sharp. "You can't." The streetlight flickered violently. Then everything went still. No wind. No sound. Nothing. Then, every light in my house turned on. All at once. The entire place lit up behind me. I flinched. "She didn't even look." "She knows now," the girl whispered. My heart skipped. "Who?" I asked. She didn't answer. Instead, she smiled. Or at least, something in her face shifted like a smile. "You're inside." I froze. Inside. I was standing in the street. Wasn't I? Slowly, I looked down. My breath caught in my throat. The ground beneath my feet wasn't the road anymore. It was wood. Old. Rotten. Floorboards. I stumbled back in panic. But the street was gone. The night gone. I was standing inside a hallway. Dim. Familiar. The old house. No, 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 no. I spun around. The walls were decayed. The air smelled the same. Heavy. Rotten. The lights flickered above me. I ran to the door. It slammed shut before I could reach it. The sound echoed through the house. Then silence. I turned slowly. And there she was, standing at the end of the hallway, closer than before. She hadn't walked. She hadn't made a sound. She was just there. "You left me," she said. Her voice now echoed slightly, like it didn't belong to just one place. "I didn't. You saw me." I shook my head violently. "You opened the door." "I didn't know." "You came inside." Her voice overlapped itself. Layered, like more than one voice speaking at once. "You let me follow." My knees felt weak. "I didn't mean to." Silence. Then, "That doesn't matter." The lights flickered again. Faster this time. The walls around me creaked, like the house itself was breathing. You don't leave. The words felt final, heavy, like a rule. Then suddenly, a loud bang from upstairs. I flinched. Another one. Something falling, dragging. The girl didn't move, didn't react, just stared at me. Then slowly, she raised her hand and pointed upstairs. Go. My chest tightened. What? Go. Her voice was stronger now, commanding. You stay if you don't. I looked at the stairs. Dark, endless. No. My voice cracked. I'm not going up there. Silence. Then, the lights went out again. Complete darkness swallowed everything. And from above, footsteps. Not one. Many. Running. Scraping. Something rushing down toward me. Fast. Too fast. I screamed and ran for the stairs without thinking, taking them two at a time. The sound chased me. Closer. Closer. Right behind me. I reached the top and turned into the nearest room, slamming the door behind me. The footsteps stopped instantly. Dead silence. I stood there gasping for air. My hands pressed against the door. Then slowly, I turned around, and my heart stopped. The room wasn't empty. Old furniture, broken walls, and on the far side, a bed, small, child-sized, and sitting on it was another girl. She looked up at me, and this one had a face, pale, tear-streaked, eyes wide with fear. Don't listen to her, she whispered. My mind went blank. What? She's not me. A cold chill ran through my body. What do you mean? The girl on the bed shook her head. She's what stayed. My breath caught. And if you stay too. Her voice trembled. You'll become like her. I couldn't speak. I just stood there, staring at the girl on the bed. She looked real, terrified, alive. Please, she whispered, you have to be quiet. My chest was still rising and falling too fast. What is she? I asked, barely able to get the words out. The girl shook her head. I don't know what she was before, she said, but this house changed her. A slow creak echoed from the hallway outside. We both froze. She's coming, the girl whispered. My heart jumped. Hide. Where? I looked around. There's nowhere to. Now. Her voice was urgent. I didn't argue. I dropped to the floor and slid under the bed. Dust filled my nose. The wood above me felt cold. I pressed my hand against my mouth, trying not to breathe too loudly. The room went silent. Then, creak. The door slowly opened. I could only see the bottom of it from where I was. Darkness filled the gap. Then footsteps. Slow. Dragging. They entered the room. I shut my eyes tightly. Don't move. Don't breathe. The footsteps stopped. Right beside the bed. I felt it. That same cold presence. Stronger now. Like it was right above me. Then, a voice. Soft, but wrong. You're hiding him. My heart nearly stopped. Silence. Then the girl on the bed spoke. No. Her voice shook. There's no one here. A pause. Long. Heavy. Then, liar. The word stretched, twisted. I heard something shift above me. The mattress pressed down slightly, like something had leaned closer to her. You don't leave, the voice whispered. You don't bring others. The girl on the bed didn't answer. I could hear her breathing. Vast, terrified. Then, a sudden sharp sound, like nails scraping wood, right above me. I bit my hand to stop myself from making a sound. Then slowly, something lowered. I opened my eyes just a little and saw it, hanging from the side of the bed. A hand, thin, pale, too long. The fingers bent the wrong way, reaching down, searching. My entire body locked. It was inches away from my face, moving slowly, back and forth, feeling the air, looking for me. I stopped breathing, completely. Seconds felt like hours. Then suddenly, the hand stopped, right in front of me. I thought it found me. I thought it was over. Then, a whisper, right above, so close. The hand twitched, then slowly pulled back. I nearly collapsed from relief. The weight on the bed lifted. The footsteps moved again, slow, dragging, toward the door. "Don't leave your room again," the voice said. "And don't lie to me." The door creaked shut. Silence returned. I stayed under the bed for a long time, too scared to move. Finally, "Come out," the girl whispered. I slowly crawled out, my whole body shaking. "She almost found you," she said. I nodded, unable to speak. "What is she?" I asked again. This time the girl looked down. "She's what happens when the house keeps you." A chill ran through me. "What do you mean, keeps?" The girl looked at me. "When someone comes here, the house doesn't let them go." My stomach dropped. "It traps them. And over time," her voice got quieter, "it changes them." I felt sick. "And you?" I asked. She hesitated. "I've been here a long time." "How long?" "I don't know anymore." Something about the way she said it made my chest tighten. "There were others before me," she continued. "They tried to leave." "What happened to them?" She didn't answer right away. "Then, you saw one." My blood ran cold. "The one downstairs. The one with no face. That was someone once." I felt my legs weaken. "No." "Yes." Her eyes filled with tears. "She wasn't always like that. She stayed too long." Silence filled the room. Then I asked the question I didn't want to ask. "How do we get out?" The girl looked at me. For the first time, there was a small piece of hope in her eyes. "There is a way." My heart jumped. "What is it?" She leaned closer, lowered her voice. "The house has a center." "What do you mean?" "A room," she said. "Not upstairs, not downstairs. In between." I frowned. I didn't see anything like that. "You wouldn't," she said. "It only appears when it wants to." A cold feeling settled in my chest. "What's in that room?" She swallowed. "That's where it started." "What started?" She looked at the door, then back at me. "Heard." My pulse quickened. "If we can find that room." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "We can end it." "End it how?" She didn't answer. Instead, she stood up slowly. "We have to move before she comes back." I nodded. "Okay, where do we go?" The girl walked toward the door, then stopped, and looked back at me. "Stay close." I followed her. Every step felt heavier than the last. She slowly opened the door. The hallway outside was dim. Flickering lights. long shadows stretching across the walls. It felt different now, like the house knew we were trying something. We stepped out, quietly, carefully. The floor creaked under us. I looked around. Everything felt wrong, more twisted than before. The walls slightly warped, the hallway longer than it should be. Then, the lights flickered. Once, twice, then all at once. They turned red. My heart dropped. The girl grabbed my arm. She knows. A distant sound echoed through the house. Not footsteps. Not walking. Something else. Vast. Crawling. From the walls. From the ceiling. From everywhere. Run, she whispered. And this time, I didn't hesitate, we ran. The hallway stretched longer than before, like the house was pulling it apart. Behind us, that sound. Vast. Scraping. Crawling across the walls. Above us. Beside us. Everywhere. Don't look back, the girl shouted. I didn't. I couldn't. My legs burned, but I kept running. The red light flickered violently, making everything look distorted. Doors appeared along the hallway. More than before. Too many. Where are we going? I asked, breathless. To the center, she said. How do you know where it is? I don't, she replied. My heart dropped. It shows itself when it wants to. That didn't help. Not at all. A loud bang echoed behind us. Something hit the wall. Hard. Then, a voice. Closer than before. You're not allowed. I felt it. Right behind us. Getting closer. The girl suddenly pulled me to the side. Here. She opened a door and dragged me inside. We slammed it shut. I pushed my back against it, trying to hold it closed. Something hit the other side immediately. Hard. Again. Again. The door shook violently. She's here, I whispered. I know. The girl looked around the room quickly. Help me move this. There was a heavy wooden dresser near the wall. We pushed it together. It scraped loudly across the floor. The door shook again. Cracks started forming in the wood. We shoved the dresser in front of it, just as something slammed into the door from outside. The entire frame rattled. Then, silence. Sudden. Heavy. I stood there breathing hard. She stopped, I asked. The girl shook her head slowly. No. That made it worse. Then why? Because she's listening. I froze. We both stayed completely still. Seconds passed. Then a soft sound came from the door. Not banging. Not scratching. A gentle knock. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. My skin crawled. Then her voice. Soft. Almost normal. Open the door. I didn't move. The girl grabbed my arm tightly. Don't answer, she whispered. She lies. Another knock. Softer this time. Please. It sounded like a child now. Broken. Crying. I'm scared. My chest tightened. It sounded real. Too real. I stepped forward without thinking. The girl pulled me back. No. But what if? It's not her. The voice outside shifted again. Glitching. Like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Let me in. Then suddenly. Silence. We waited. Nothing. No sound. No movement. Minutes passed. Slowly, I stepped away from the door. Is it gone? I asked. The girl didn't answer. She was staring at something behind me. Her face went pale. I turned, and my heart stopped. The room wasn't the same. The walls had changed. Darker, rotten, the air colder. And in the middle of the room, there was a door. It hadn't been there before. Small, old, different from the others. My chest tightened. Is that? The girl nodded slowly. The center. I stared at it. It felt wrong, like it didn't belong in this world. What's inside? I asked. She didn't respond right away. Then, the truth. A chill ran through me. Another sound echoed through the house. Far away, but getting closer. We didn't have time. We have to go in, she said. I hesitated. What if that's what she wants? The girl looked at me. If we don't, we stay here. That was enough. I nodded. We walked toward the door together. Every step felt heavier, like something was trying to pull us back. When we reached it, I noticed something strange. There were scratches on the wood. Deep, desperate, like someone had tried to get out. I swallowed hard. Ready? She asked. No, but I nodded anyway. She slowly reached for the handle. It was cold. She turned it. The door creaked open. Darkness inside, thicker than the rest of the house. We stepped in, and the moment we did, the door slammed shut behind us. The sound echoed, then disappeared. Silence. Complete. Then, a faint light appeared, in the center of the room, revealing something on the floor. I stepped closer, and felt my heart drop. It was a drawing. Childlike, crude, but clear. A house. This house. And inside it, 3 figures. One tall, one small, and one with no face. I felt my stomach twist. What is this? I whispered. The girl stepped beside me. It's how it started. I looked closer. There were words written under the drawing. Messy, uneven, like a child had written them. I leaned down trying to read. And that's when the lights flickered. Once, twice, then, a whisper filled the room. Right behind us. You found it. I froze. The girl slowly turned her head. I didn't. I couldn't. The voice came again. Closer. Happier. Now you stay forever. We didn't move. Not even a breath. The voice was still in the room, everywhere at once. Now you stay forever. The light in the center of the room flickered. Once, twice, then slowly steadied. I finally forced myself to turn. Nothing behind us. Just the closed door. But the girl was staring at the floor, her face tense. It's not gone, she whispered. My throat was dry. Then where is it? She slowly pointed at the drawing. My eyes dropped back to it. The house sketch, the 3 figures. But something had changed. A 4th figure was appearing. Right in front of my eyes. Like it was being drawn by an invisible hand. I stepped back. No, no, no. The pencil marks were fresh. Dark. Moving. The 4th figure was tall. Standing between the small child and the faceless one. The lines continued. And then, the faceless figure slowly turned toward us in the drawing. I felt my stomach drop. It knows we're here, I said. The girl didn't answer. She was already moving toward the center of the room. "What are you doing?" I asked. She knelt down. "This is the only place it started from." Her fingers hovered above the drawing. "If we destroy the source, we can break it." A sharp laugh echoed in the room. Not loud, but close. "You can't break what lives in you." My head snapped up. "Where are you?" I shouted. No answer. Just silence again. Then, the girl touched the drawing. A sudden jolt of light exploded outward. I covered my eyes. When I opened them again, the room had changed. The drawing was gone. And in its place, a mirror. Tall, old, standing in the center of the room. My reflection stared back at me. But something was wrong. The girl beside me wasn't reflected properly. In the mirror, she wasn't moving. I froze. "Don't look at it," she whispered. But it was too late. The reflection in the mirror smiled. Even though I wasn't smiling, my reflection stepped forward, closer to the glass. Then, it raised its hand and tapped. Knock. I stepped back immediately. The real girl grabbed my arm. "Don't respond." The mirror tapped again. Knock, knock. Then the reflection spoke, using my voice. "You already came in." My breathing quickened. "I didn't." The reflection tilted its head. "You brought it with you." The mirror behind it began to ripple. Like water. Dark water. Then slowly, a hand pushed through. From inside the mirror. Long. Thin. The same wrong fingers. The same twisting shape. I backed away. "No, this isn't real." The girl grabbed my hand. "We have to leave now." I turned toward the door. But it was gone. Just wall. Solid. No exit. The room was shrinking. I swear it was shrinking. The mirror grew larger. Closer. The hand came further out. Then, the reflection stepped halfway through. And I saw it clearly. It wasn't just my reflection. It was me. But wrong. Empty eyes. No expression. And behind it, the faceless girl, standing inside the mirror. Watching. "You let us in," she said again. Her voice came from everywhere. "Now we leave with you." The mirror cracked. A single line. Then another. The sound spread like bones breaking. Crack. Crack. The glass began to split. The hand reached out further, almost touching me. The girl suddenly shouted, "Run to the light." "What light?" I yelled back. She pointed. At the ceiling. Above the mirror. A faint opening. Barely visible. Like a wound in the air. A weak glow. We jumped through it. That's insane. We don't have a choice. The mirror shattered slightly behind us. Pieces falling inward, not outward. Like it was pulling us in. The faceless girl stepped out fully now. Her feet touching the floor. The temperature dropped instantly. "Too late," she whispered. The mirror exploded inward. The room started collapsing into it. Walls bending. Floor twisting. Everything pulling toward the glass. The girl grabbed my hand. Now. We ran. Jumped. Straight into the light above. For a moment. Nothing. No sound. No gravity. No house. Just white. Then, I hit the ground hard. Air rushed back into my lungs. I coughed violently. I looked around. We were outside. The street. Night. The house in front of us. Normal. Silent. Still. I looked at my hands. Shaking. Real. I turned to the girl. She was on her knees, breathing heavily. "We made it," I asked. She didn't answer immediately, then slowly looked up at the house. Her face went pale. "No," she whispered. My stomach dropped. "What do you mean, no?" She pointed. At the windows. One by one. The lights turned on. Slowly. Calmly. Like nothing had ever happened. And then, from inside the house, a child's voice. Very soft. Very close. "Welcome home." I couldn't move. The words "welcome home" echoed in my head like something that wouldn't stop. The house stood perfectly still in front of us. Too perfect. Too calm. The lights were all on again, like it was waiting. The girl beside me slowly stood up. Her face was pale. "This isn't over," she whispered. My throat tightened. "We got out, didn't we?" She didn't answer. Instead, she took a step back. "Look at your house." I turned slowly. My house. The one I had run out of. The one we escaped. The door was closed now, but I clearly remembered leaving it open. I swallowed hard. "What's happening?" I asked. The girl's voice was shaking. "It didn't let us leave." I felt my chest drop. "No, I saw it. We jumped out. We." "You didn't leave," she interrupted. "You just moved deeper." I shook my head. "That's not possible." But even as I said it, something felt wrong. The air wasn't normal. The silence wasn't normal. Everything felt slightly delayed. Like reality was reacting too slowly. Then, a soft sound came from behind me. "Step." I froze. The girl froze too. Another step. Closer. "Step." I slowly turned. Nothing behind me. Just the street. Empty. But the sound was right there. Right between us. The girl grabbed my arm tightly. "It followed," she whispered. My heart started racing again. "No, no, we left it in there." She shook her head. "It's not inside the house." My breath caught. "Then where is it?" The streetlight above us flickered once, then turned off completely. Darkness fell. And in that darkness, a voice spoke from everywhere at once. "You learned my house. You opened my rooms. You called my name." My hands started shaking. "I didn't call anything." A soft laugh echoed. The same broken laugh. "Then why did you answer?" The ground beneath me felt colder. Heavier. Like it was turning into wood again. The girl suddenly pulled me backward. "Don't stand still." We ran. But the street wasn't a street anymore. It was stretching. Changing. Becoming the hallway again. No houses. No sky. Just walls forming out of nothing. The same old house hallway. Rebuilding itself around us. "No, no, no," I shouted. The girl pointed forward. There. A door. Small. Old. The same kind from before. But now it was in the middle of the hallway. Like it had always been there. We ran toward it. The sound behind us grew louder. Step, step, step. It was running now. Not walking. Running. We reached the door. The girl grabbed the handle. "It's locked." My chest tightened. "Then what do we do?" She looked at me. For the first time, she looked scared in a different way. Not of the thing behind us, but of the door itself. Then she whispered, This isn't the exit. I froze. What? This is where it wakes up. The hallway behind us twisted violently. The footsteps stopped. Complete silence. Then, right behind us, a voice. Soft. Close. I'm already awake. The door handle slowly turned on its own. Click. The door opened by itself. Darkness inside. Deeper than before. And something stepped out. Slowly. Not fully visible. Just shape. Pressure. Presence. The girl grabbed my hand. We can't run anymore, she said. My voice broke. Then what do we do? She looked at me. And for the first time, she said something different. We face it. The thing stepped closer. The hallway lights died one by one. Tick, tick, tick. The same sound again. From everywhere. The girl stepped forward slightly. I stayed here too long, she whispered. But I learned something. My heart pounded. What? She turned her head slightly. It needs you to run. The presence stopped. For the first time. It paused. Like it heard her. The girl squeezed my hand. Don't move. I stood still. Even though every instinct screamed at me to run. The darkness in front of us thickened. Then, the voice changed. No longer playful. No longer broken. Just calm. You understand now. The girl nodded slowly. Yes. A pause. Then choose. The hallway behind us opened again. The street was there. Real again. Escape. But in front of us, the darkness became a doorway. Something beyond it. Final. The girl looked at me. This is it, she whispered. If you run, it follows. If you stay, it ends. My breathing shook. What ends? She didn't answer. The darkness leaned closer. The street behind us stayed open. 2 choices. 1 chance. The voice spoke one last time. Choose the house or me. And everything went silent. The silence felt heavier than anything before. 2 paths stayed open behind us like wounds in reality. Behind us the street, real, familiar escape. In front of us the darkness, alive, watching. And the voice repeated, calm and certain. Choose the house or me. The girl didn't let go of my hand. But her grip tightened. I know what it wants, she whispered. My voice cracked. Then tell me. She shook her head slowly. If you choose the street, it will follow you forever. I swallowed hard. And if I choose it? Her eyes lowered. Then it stops hiding. The darkness in front of us shifted. Like it was listening, waiting. I could feel it. Not just watching. Expecting. Behind us, the street flickered like a weak signal. Like it wasn't fully real anymore. Don't think, the girl said softly. That's how it wins. But I already was thinking. Every memory I had since I arrived here, twisted. The lights turning on. The house calling. The mirror. The voice. It never attacked me directly. It always waited for me to move first. The realization hit me hard. It's not chasing us, I whispered. The girl looked at me. I continued. It's guiding us. Her eyes widened slightly. The darkness in front of us reacted. A slow pulse. Like a heartbeat. You understand now, the voice said again. Calm. Patient. My throat tightened. You wanted me here, I said. No answer. Only silence. The street behind us flickered again. Fading. The girl stepped closer to me. Her voice was barely audible. I can hold it back for a few seconds. My heart dropped. What do you mean? She finally looked at me fully. For a moment, I can break its attention. I shook my head. No, there has to be another way. There isn't, she said. A pause. Then softer. There never was. The darkness in front of us expanded slightly. Like it was smiling. The girl stepped forward one step. My grip on her tightened. Don't, I said. She looked at me one last time. And for the first time, she smiled. A real one. Small. Sad. I've been here too long, she whispered. It's okay. I felt something break inside me. No, you're coming with me. She shook her head. I can't leave the house. The voice echoed again. You belong to me. She didn't deny it this time. Instead, she turned toward the darkness and raised her hand. The hallway behind us started collapsing again. The street flickered harder. Faster. The girl spoke quietly. When you run, don't look back. My breathing shook. What are you going to do? She didn't answer. She only said, choose fast. The darkness surged forward slightly. The street behind us started becoming unstable. Like both realities were about to break. I looked at the street. Freedom. Then at the darkness. And my hands trembled. The girl stepped forward again. Now, she said. The voice in the dark spoke one last time. No more choices. And suddenly, everything stopped. The street vanished. The hallway vanished. Only darkness remained. And in that darkness, a door appeared. Small. Old. The same door from before. The center. But now it was open. Waiting. The girl whispered. That's the end of the house. My voice barely came out. What's inside? She looked at me and said, the thing that made it. The darkness behind the door shifted. Alive. Awake. The voice spoke one final time. Come home. The girl took a step forward, then looked back at me. This is where it ends, she said. I hesitated, then asked the last question I didn't want to ask. If I go in, will I come back? She paused, then answered honestly. No. A long silence. The door waited. The house waited. Everything waited. And then, I took a step forward. I took that step. And the moment my foot crossed the threshold, everything stopped. No sound. No air. No time. It felt like the world forgot how to continue. The girl's voice didn't reach me anymore. Even the darkness went still, like it was holding its breath. Then, I was inside. But it wasn't a room. It was a memory. Not mine. The air looked like water. Floating images surrounded me, broken, flickering scenes. A family sitting in a house. Laughter. Warm light. The same house. Before it became what it is. I turned slowly. Where am I? No answer. But something moved ahead. A shape forming from the light. Slow. Deliberate. The girl appeared beside me again. But different. Fading. This is the source, she whispered. My voice shook. The thing that made the house. She nodded. And everything inside it. The floating memories twisted. The happy family distorted. The father's face blurred. The mother's voice disappeared. And the child. The girl. She stood in the center of it all. Alone. I felt a cold realization. That's you, I whispered. The girl didn't deny it. I was the beginning, she said softly. The space around us trembled. The memory shifted. The house grew darker in fast motion. Time collapsing. Something stayed with me, she continued. And I stayed with it. A deep pulse echoed through the space. Boom, boom. Like a heartbeat. The air turned heavier. The light dimmed. And then, the voice returned. But not from outside. From everywhere. You were never meant to leave. The girl stepped forward. I tried. The memories around us showed it. Doors closing. Windows locking. People disappearing. The house growing, learning. My hands shook. What is it? I asked. The girl looked at me. And for the first time, she told the truth fully. It's not a house. A pause. It's a place that learns loneliness. The air cracked slightly. Like reality didn't like that answer. She continued. Every person who enters feeds it. And every fear builds it. The darkness behind everything began forming again. Not walls this time. A presence. Huge. Unfinished. Awakening. The voice deepened. Stay. The girl turned to me. There is only one way to stop it now. I already knew what she was going to say. My chest tightened. No. She nodded slowly. If I return, it resets. My breath shook. And you? She gave a small, sad smile. I was never supposed to leave in the first place. The space around us started collapsing again. Memories breaking apart. The house forming again in fragments. The voice grew louder. Don't leave me. I stepped forward. Wait, there has to be another way. She shook her head. There is. Then she added softly. But thank you for seeing me. The darkness rushed in. The house started reforming around us. Vast. Too fast. The final shape of it forming again. The girl stepped back into the center of the memory. The source. The origin. And whispered. Now it forgets me. My eyes widened. What does that mean? She looked at me one last time. And said, you get to leave. The space shattered. Everything exploded into white light. I felt myself falling. Falling through floors. Through walls. Through time. Then, silence. I woke up. Outside. On the street. Dawn light. Birds. Wind. Normal world. My body on the ground in front of the house. I gasped and sat up. The old house stood there. Still. Quiet. Empty. No lights. No movement. Nothing. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then I noticed something. A small scratch on my hand. Fresh. And in it, a faint whisper I could barely hear. Don't forget me. I looked at the house again. One window upstairs. Just one. Slowly lit up. And then turned off. Like a blink. Like it was still alive. Watching. Waiting. And somewhere deep inside my head, I knew. It was never really gone. I slowly sat up. The morning light was spreading across the street. Everything looked calm. Birds were singing. Cars were passing. Normal life. But my body didn't feel normal. My hands were still shaking. I stared at the old house. It was completely silent now. No lights. No movement. Nothing. Like nothing had ever happened there. I whispered to myself, It's over. I turned away and started walking. Step by step, I moved farther from it, until I reached the town road again. People were everywhere now. Everything felt real again. I convinced myself, maybe it really was over. Maybe I survived it. I reached my home later that morning. I stood in front of my door, paused. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't explain what. I unlocked it and went inside. Everything looked normal. Too normal. I exhaled slowly. Maybe I was finally safe. Then, tick. I froze. I turned my head toward the wall switch. It moved slightly on its own. Tick. The lights turned off. My heart dropped. No. I stepped back. No, no, no. I ran toward the door. I grabbed the handle. Locked. I pulled hard. Open. Nothing. The house felt different. The air turned colder, heavier, and then, tick, tick, tick. The sound was everywhere now. From the walls, from the ceiling, from inside the house itself. I slowly turned around. The lights were fading one by one. Darkness spreading across the room. And then, a voice behind me. Calm. Close. You understand now. I turned quickly. No one. But I could feel it. It wasn't in the house anymore. It wasn't in the old house. It was everywhere. The walls started to feel unfamiliar. The shape of the room shifted slightly, like reality itself was adjusting. I realized something terrifying. I never escaped. I just moved. The house followed. The lights in my home suddenly turned on. All at once. Exactly like the old house. Every room lit up. Perfectly. And from somewhere deep inside the silence, a whisper. Soft. Clear. Welcome home. The lights went out. Everything became dark. And I understood the truth. It was never the house. It was what I brought back with me.